Hello students, this is Dr Prakash Pitroda. In this session I will take you through how to input data during method call. So when you run the program and you want to allow user to input a data rather than program directly storing a data on its own, how do you do that? So let us move ahead. Now before we get into this, it's a quick recap of understanding data type, memory size and data range. So you must know these data type, their memory size and a data range very well with their you can say default values as well. So for us very important is byte, short, int, long, float and double. Char and boolean we will deal with in our some later chapters. So very important is when you use byte as a data type, the data range should be from minus 127 to 128. So any number beyond this limit you can't use byte, you have to move on to short. In short, again data range cannot be more than minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. If the number is beyond this range, then you can't use short, you have to go to int. So based on how big the value is, you have to choose byte, short, int and long. All four of these data items are using data types are using integer type of values. Float and double, as we have discussed in our previous class, takes a decimal value. Now let us move on very quickly to the practical aspect of what we have done. So let us move to what we have done. So in our previous class, what we learned here is that the data can be stored into a particular variable directly. So I say int num is equal to 25, where num is a variable, it could be a single character as well. For example, if I take n, I'll have to apply n over here because inside memory n will be stored as 25. So if I want to read 25, I have to read n. N is an address where 25 is stored, which is supposed to be of integer type. So if I have written int here, the data range can be definitely minus 2 raised to I can take you here, data range can be minus 2 raised to 31 to plus 2 raised to 31 minus 1. That big value I can write, nearly a 10 digit number. So this is how we have learned last time the values being stored. We've also learned in our last class how to store a value and then apply them. So we have seen num1 is 25, num2 is 50, and if I say num1 plus num2, then computer will help me getting the answer as 75. So I compile, close, I can right click on my mouse, I say void main. Void main is called method call. Method call, method run, method execution, method invoking, all means same. These are four terms generally being used. So when I click on void main, it means I'm running the program. That is what is called method call. So when I clicked here, computer immediately started running method void main and got the output on the screen. So the moment you click on void main, computer runs from here till the end of void main. Now in this case we also learned if I don't want directly sum, I can take another variable, say int sum is equal to num1 plus num2. I can write this and computer can now store this particular value into sum. So instead of printing this, I can say print straight sum. So if I run this, compile, will show me no syntax error. Now instead of directly printing num1 plus num2, we have stored the value into another variable. Since this variable is storing a value, we must define a data type for that. Alright, so computer knows that what type of value is going to be stored after the calculation, and then we are printing the sum. So when I run this program, again right click and void main, computer does the calculation, still same. So when I change this value from 225 to 250 and from 500 to 550 to 500, now num1 value will be stored as 250, 500, and then computer will do the sum. So there we go. When I right click and void main, I got now 750. So according to the values in the program, computer will apply those values in the place where it has been done. Then we've also seen that if I want to print that this sum value that 750 comes is sum of two numbers, I must say here in quotes sum of two numbers is equal to is my message, and it should be joined. So plus works as a joining, it is working like an AND. It means we are instructing computer print this message and the value of sum. So if I want a message to be given afterwards, then I can say after the value and I can write down some message again in the double quotes. So I'm just right now ignoring that part and I'm running this program again. So now computer will give me a message along with the value. So this is how you get the message. So I hope you have understood this. I remember we have also done this part of a program where a salary is being stored, rate of tax has been declared as 12%, so 12.0 upon 100, and now salary, that's S, into rate, that's 12%. Computer will find a tax of salary as 12%, store into a data called T, double type, because the decimal value is involved. The moment you find a percentage, the expected data type is decimal, and then computer will print the value of T. So this is expected answer is 2700. There we are. Now let us go back to the program and understand. So we were here, we did this little bit of a recap. Now if I have to input the data, I need a syntax. So here the syntax here is, in your public static void main you will be needing a parameter list. Now what is a parameter list? A parameter list is a list of values to be received by the method for further execution. Now what it should contain? It should contain a data type and a variable. So for example, if I say public static void main int a comma int b, it means when I am going to call method, computer will allow me to enter two integers. So let's take practical on this to understand the concept. So we move on to the practical aspect over here. So let us say the same program that I have started with, I will start from here. Now if I run this program first time, I am getting the answer sum is 750. Now if I say option and say clear screen method call, you can see this has, if I disable this, then this message which is here will remain as it is, and the new message will start coming below this. So I'm keeping this as it is, close. I run this program again. Now you can see the previous data did not go, plus the new data came in. Now I close this again, I run this, so the previous two data will remain there, the third one will come. Now if I minimize this and I run this 3 more times, void main and void main, and now I maximize this, you can see in all cases my answer is same. Now if my answer is going to remain same, then this program is useless, because the program needs new value to come in. Now in order for new value to come in, you need to input a value. But remember this, for 250 storage you needed a data type and a variable. For 500 also you needed a data type and a variable. So what we will do is, we will cut this from here and we will paste it over here, comma, because I need two of them. Okay, so let us understand just one of them first. So now if I say my program has got one value coming from the user and other one is fixed, 500. So no matter what, num2 will always apply 500. What I enter here plus 500 will be my answer. So now if I compile this, now instead of getting the answer directly on my right click void main, you can see now there is int num. Okay, so in this case when I'm going to click on this, I'll get a dialog box to enter a value. So here is a dialog box with whatever value I'll enter will be stored under num1. So this time I'm putting 100. Now if the value is 100 As we know, num1 will store 100. The moment I will say OK, computer will immediately store that 100 in num1 and add that 500 of num2 and print the data to us. I hope you've understood this. This is how the values are accepted. Now I'm going to clear the screen because next time of course it will clear the screen as well, so that we know that every time a value is new. Now if I run this program again, it allows me to input the data value again. So this time if I'm going to run and say here 500 again or 5000, so my num1 value will be 5000, but the num2 value remains 500, so my answer is 5500. Now what if I want both the values to be accepted from the user? Then in that case I am going to cut this from here, and since there are two values, I am going to apply here comma and I am going to say num2. Now this value cannot be written like this, so I'll have to delete this. The value for this is going to come from the user. Now when I'm going to run this program, computer on my right click will allow me to enter two values. Previously was num1, so here is written int num1, int num2. So I'm going to enter a value, say 2 and 4. So we know that 2 and 4 will come make 6, num1 plus num2. So here is my answer. You can see this, num1 and num2 is showing me 6. Now if I run this program again and I run this, I'll get again a dialog box. This time I'm putting two random numbers, 234 and 554. My answer will come correct. So logically now we know that any value that will be coming from the user, computer will store first box value will be in num1, second box value will be in num2. They will be automatically be applied. So logically if my input is right, this one will run. Now let us see what happens when my input is wrong. So when I run this program, how does user know that I have to input an integer or something? Suppose user puts 2.5 or 2.6 and the second value is a normal value. Then computer will give me an error message over here, incompatible data type. Now it is very difficult for user level to understand. So it is good to write a message over here. So let us understand, for a method call we write a message. So how do we write a message? This message is called comment. Comment is for this particular line. So I'm going to say star asterisk is the starting point always. Now what I want user to do for these two numbers, I will mention it over here. So I'm asking user enter two integers and I say star and slash. This makes it gray. So this is slash star and inside star slash. This is the entire block in which the message is written. Now this message will appear on your dialog box. So when I compile this and run this program, right click void main, I get this message enter two integers. So now user knows that I have no choice but to enter two integers, otherwise it will not work. Now I can beautify this message. I can write down here enter one integer in each box. One integer in each box. So I can say in each box and press OK. I can write an example as well, but I believe the one who is going to run this program will understand at least now from here. So it says enter one integer in each box and press OK. So now I know I am entering one integer and pressing OK to get my answer. So this program 100 times I run, all 100 times the program will allow me to enter a set of values from the user, and based on that value computer will do the further calculation. Now it is not necessary that you have to have an integer. You can also have decimal. You can also have integer and a decimal. All type of all types of data type I can accept from the user. I have to just put, all I have to put is a comma in between. This is a data type, so we understand that this data type will store some value under this number. So integer type of a value will come under num1 as a variable. Another integer type of value will come under num1 as num2 as a value. Now let us understand how the question will look like. So I'll start with this question. So if you recollect, previously we have seen this question, okay, where we have seen that write a program to input wage rate from the user and calculate and print wage amount, where we saw 26 days. We have seen no, not sorry, this is a mistake. In the previous class we have done this one. So what we have done here is wage rate is given as 75 per day and print total wage amount for 26 days. So we multiplied number of days into this using this particular program. So here is a program. We stored number of days as 75, if you can see over here. Okay, so number of days 26. So we stored number of days as 26. You can see byte, it's because it's a number is between minus 128 to plus 127, so it's easy. And the rate per day is rupees 75, so rate is taken as 75, which is given fixed. So now rate stores 75, day stores 76. We multiplied both of them, so we are able to get the total wage, whatever the wage. This is just a variable. I could have written W as well, just to show you that I can write even a W. So now, because these are two integers, logically integer into integer is going to give you integer, so the data type should be integer. Now it is going to print whatever stores in W. So now what we did here, we ran this program and we got the answer here. Now again, like the previous questions, if I run this 100 times also, this program will give me same answer, because the wage and the rate are same. What if I have to make this to the user friendly? So instead of taking this, we will say cut from here and we apply it over here. Okay, wage rate and comma, I can also apply byte number of days. So copy and number of days. So now the same program that we were writing using direct number has become a program of this type. It says write a program to input wage rate. So if you understand this way, input wage rate from the user and calculate and store wage amount for 26 days. Now 26 is given fixed, so then in that case I should not take 26 into my consideration for input, because it's already given. So in that case we are going to take number of wage rate from the user and number of days are already given 26. You can see input is wage rate, which we are taking, number of days already given. Now I come here, we compile this program. You can see this, we compile this program and we right click. It is allowing me to enter a wage rate. So suppose if I say 100, then somebody's wage rate is 100, then for 26 days it is supposed to be 2600. Again, like previous program we have seen, suppose user, when you run the program, user doesn't see anything what to do. You don't know what to enter. Even I can press an alphabet and press, it will give me an error message. So what should I input over here? That can come from the comments. So I can write a comment over here /* and I can ask enter wage rate per day of an employee. And I say asterisk and slash. Now we expect this message to appear on the dialog box. So when I compile and stop and I come here, it is asking me enter wage rate per day of an employee. So suppose this time I put 200 per day, then 26 into 200. Okay, let us see what is the error message. Yes, the error message here is showing possible lossy conversion because now I entered 200, which is less than the byte type. So here why it came? Because we made a mistake by entering a value greater than this. So ideally when you are inputting, you should not take byte, you should take minimum int so that all type of value can be taken. Now if I enter this and run this program, 200 is acceptable because int can take a very big number. Now it is 200 into 26. This is how computer is going to calculate. So even while inputting, if you have taken a data type as byte, it will not take more than 127 value. Now let us take an example of question number 2. Now question number 2, I'm sure all those who have practiced my first sheet, the answer, the question sheet, the elementary program sheet, then you must have seen that we have entered this question there, the triangle as 2.25, 2.5 and 5.5 respectively. So we have taken a height and a base. So here is a program. Height and a base is given as 2.5, 2.5 and other number is 5.5. So we have taken 5.5 as well. Since it is taken as float, f is written. Now base is b, height is h. So half is 0.5 into base into height. Now we are printing all of them. What is base, what is height, and what is the area which is being stored. So if I compile this program, computer will say 2.5 into 5.5 into half. So there my answer has come. Area, base, height and the area. So this is because of this extra space. Now suppose I want to make this program user friendly. I don't want base and height to be taken directly. I want user to input. Then in that case I can write directly somewhat like this. Double B, because this is decimal, double H. So B and H will come, base will come from the user, height will come from the user. Whatever is a B value, computer will apply here. Whatever is a height value, computer will apply here into half. That will make my base and height. So again, if I compile this program, you can see here, right click and void main. Suppose I say 10.0 and 20.0. So we know 10 into 20, 200 into half. That makes 100. Your area of triangle is showing 100. So this is how you are able to enter the value. Now if you want, you can also give a message between star asterisk. Now you can write the message. Okay, so I'm leaving it up to you. I'm putting this line. You can, while practicing, put this message slash and message. So I'm just writing here message. This is how the input from the method call. So when I'm running this, it's called method call, inputting a data during the method call. Compile, shows me no syntax error. I hope you all have understood this concept of inputting the data. I'll be sending you a practical sheet which you should be doing during your practice session. Thank you.